I'll just play through it with talking through ideas and about which mode I'm using and how I'm thinking, and I'll use some Lydian dominant on all of them, or on all the non-functioning, and some altered on all the functioning. Sound like a plan? All right, cool. Let's just take it really slow and very simple. So I'm going to start with the E flat 7. Okay. And how about this? I'll start from the 5th. All right, then I'll play the flat 7. I'll slide it down to be a 6th. Yeah. So far we got... And then I'll play the sharp 4, which is going to be the Lydian dominant. So that's also with my ring finger out. This will be on the 7th fret. So I had... Yeah. Cool. And then I'll use my pinky on the root. All right. And then my index finger on the 3rd. Yeah. The 3rd of the chords. It'd be the 5th fret of the D string. So we got... all right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Try again. You gotta be the 7th fret. We gotta need the sharp 11 to be Lydian dominant. Right there, be the 7th fret of the D string. I mean, otherwise, it's all just Mixolydian. If you did that, that'd be perfectly fine too. But if we're trying to do some Lydian dominant, we want a sharp. And in a phrase like that, it happens so quick. It's no big deal. Actually, this tune says in parentheses sharp 11. So if somebody played, you know, a sharp 11, and you played a 4, it'd be like kind of bad news. Cool. So, all right, and then you know what I'll do? I'll play the root after that. Yeah. Go ahead and play that line. There you go. Yeah. And you don't have to do it with the slide, right? You could pull off. You know, you could pick it every like. And I'm kind of swinging it. You could do it straight. You know. If you wanted playing this in a jazz context, you would probably want it to be swung. You know, I guess if you could do it straight if the drummer is swinging really hard. But another thing you may want is more of a legato thing. That's what a lot of people do when they emulate the sax players. So they would play like slides, pull-offs are fine. You know, I could even hammer on. And then which ones you accent and phrasing. Instead of being like, there'd be like no phrasing really. Now obviously there can be no phrase. There can't be such thing as no phrasing, because if you play it, it's phrased in the way that you play it. But that's kind of what people mean when they say no phrasing. Just like no style. But it's there. But that's still kind of ignorant. I mean, that'd be a style. If you played that way, they know you when you hear you. You know, that's so and so's style. But yeah, commonly you'd hear it like this probably. You know, some of these are going to be strong. Some of them are going to be subtle, soft. Anyway, so here's where we ended on the root. Yeah. Yeah. What the ones that you accent usually has more to do with where it lies in the pulse, you know, like in the subdivision or what beat. It usually has more to do with the rhythm than it does with the pitch. Which note do you accent? It's usually that, you know. Yeah, it'd be a good exercise if you wrote down a lick, put a little accent mark over one of the notes, and accent just that note, and then you do it with all of them systematically, and then try different combinations of accents. But anyway, let's move on. So we ended with the root. All right, now I'm going to walk up. So actually, yeah, we ended with our middle finger. So I'll just use my ring finger and then slide up. All right, and why I played my ring finger on the 7th fret, and then I slid it up to the 8th fret. And this right here is the 3rd of the D flat chord, which is, yeah, our next chord. So basically this was a passing tone. The flat 9, which then leads up, I just used it as a passing tone to get from where I was to where I wanted to be, which was a whole step up. So I went half steps at a time. Cool. All right. D flat. All right, so from here, I'll play the 5th of the D flat chord. So I'll use my index finger, slide it down to the 4th, the sharp 4, yeah. All right, and now here I'm going to play the 7th fret. This is actually a sharp 9. You know, you may think it's a flat 3rd. Obviously, it couldn't be a flat 3rd. If it were a flat 3rd, it would be wrong. A person would go, "Oh, we can't have a flat 3rd." But you can have a sharp 9 on a dominant chord, like in the blues. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to here's the D flat phrase so far. All right, and then I'm just going to slide that back up to the 3rd. All right, then I'll play the 2 or the 9, and I'll use my pinky on the root D flat. Okay, so we've got that. Yeah, that's it. And I'm still sliding, and then sliding back up. Oops. Notice that these phrases are pretty similar. The E flat and the D flat both start on the 5th, and they both include the sharp 11, as the chord asks us to, but that's Lydian dominant, right? So the whole thing so far would be, and then the walk up. Oh shit. That's kind of tricky. That's the whole thing. And then the 9. And then the root. Yeah. I'll do it real slow. Exactly. Right. Now, conceptually, do you see how I'm navigating those changes? Like, I'll just walk through it. We started on the 5th, went to the flat 7. I'm just thinking of my chord shape. Go down to the 6th, and then I did the sharp 11 because this is a Lydian dominant chord. Or we want to use a Lydian dominant for it. And then, then the root. So I was still back thinking of this shape, basically. Then I played the 3rd, thinking of this shape. And now the root. Passing tone up to the 3rd of the next chord. And then I played the 5th. And then slid down to the 4th. and then I did the sharp 9 like in a blues, and then slid back up to the 3rd as a blues usually would. Then I played the 2nd to the root. This is me just walking down scalular basically. And that's the way I was thinking there. Now the next the next measure has the same 2 chords, except it has both of them, right? Half each. So here's where we ended on the root. Cool? All right. I'll go ahead and start from that again because that's a flat 7. So I'll play that for the E flat chord. That's the flat 7. Actually, that's like from our Paul Gilbert tune that we did. Anyway, so there's the flat 7. And then I'll play the root. And then how about the 6th to the 5th? Yeah. Yeah, you could do hybrid there if you want, like pick and then pluck with your middle finger. Or you could just pick both. And then, then I'll use my middle finger on the 7th fret. And that is the flat 7 of the D flat dominant chord. Right? Or, yeah. And then I'll play the 9. And then I'll play the sharp 9 like a blues. And then the 3rd. Cool. So and then next we have the B flat 7 chord. So where I'm naturally inclined to go would be which would be the flat 7. Yeah, I would play the flat 7 for that B flat 7 chord that comes next. So that's going to be the 6th fret of the D string. So our whole lick so far for this measure is the E flat to D flat and then to the B flat, which I'm playing the flat 7, 6th fret of the D string. All right? And that's that measure into the first beat of the next measure. Yeah. That's a downbeat. Cool. That's the D flat. That's the D flat chord. You know, like if you're playing that D flat 7, you can play, or, you know, whatever. You can mess around with those notes. Cool. There we go. All right.